Hey Tabafetu, this video is brought to you by EASYBET. Click the link in the description to sign up and use code FANS50 to receive a 50 Rand sign-up bonus. And also, T&Cs apply. Under 18s are not permitted to gamble. Tango. FANS Wethu TV, it's the CAF Champions League, yes. Pyramid 0, yes. Pirate 0. Don't forget to subscribe, become a member. I'm joined by the two doctors, Dr. Mutau and Dr. Tami.
Stibo Ukren Meoti. I'm not. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's not every day where we talk in the same midst of the CAF Champions League. Let me also congratulate Mamelodi Sundowns for playing the semis of the CAF Champions League. It is very important for the football economics of this country. It is very good that even the players that won the 1995 CAF Champions League today, they have it within their CVs and their calendar to say they once won the CAF Champions League. Even their children, their grandchildren, they are celebrating that. And they'll go memory. Yes, you've rightfully put it.
Yeah.
So that alone will tell you, because remember, Stibo, much as I support Orlando Pirates, my sisters may be married to Sundowns former players, my brothers, otherwise. These people are South Africans at the end of the day. Yes. Remember, last season, I was not supporting Mamelodi Sundowns as far as CAF Champions League is concerned. But now, Stibo, I'm looking at the bigger issue. I'm looking at football sense here. I'm not talking about those things that who's going to brag to me and whatnot. I'm looking at the bigger issues. Like if I have a different opinion to yours, and you are an Orlando Pirates supporter or otherwise, my main concern is the badge. So if you concentrate more on football and the progress of football and South African football rather than team-based, who will brag or who will not brag and whatsoever, doesn't matter. Even if Sundowns can win 10 CAF Champions League, I know that it will result to South Africa at the end of the day. It's a South African team. There's no way that a Mamelodi Sundowns will ever be situated in Spain. Mamelodi is based in South Africa. Whether they talk bad or whatever, even if Chiefs can win it, I don't care. But I know for sure that Kaizer Chiefs belongs to this country. Whether they like it or not, they will never disconnect themselves from South Africa. But anyway, I'm sorry to start otherwise, since I'm the only person who's able to talk about football however way. But we're talking about growth, and when you are grown, you tend to understand that people are still coming to your level, that even when they speak however, you are able to understand that they are yet to reach the level if the grace of football allows them to. Because even myself, I was there, and there were people who helped me to grow and understand football to that context. But anyway, Hakioda, let's talk about today's game. We are talking about Pyramid. Anyway, if I'm an icebreaker, Stibo, and I've understood myself that my interview should take about 2 hours. But since I don't have time, I'm an icebreaker. I'll break points and break points and break points. And throughout the week, if not the year, they will be discussed throughout the week. But obviously, me, I'm an icebreaker. Let me tell you this: our coach, who's here to reach his final third year of his season here at Orlando Pirates. My apologies. These people's noise is making me to cough. But what I'm trying to say is, when our coach came here, he was playing a 4-4-2 formation. They were striking with two strikers. But yet then, with growth of South African football, maybe of his own experience, he has then understood that I need these people. Let's strike back. But then let's talk about this. When he started playing 4-4-2, he then realized that, okay, he needs to protect, because football is like wearing a blanket that is not fully, it does not cover 100%. When you cover the head, you expose the feet. And when you cover the feet, you expose that's why he changes. Then he changes into striking, into playing with your 4-2-3-1, into striking with one striker. But again, in a very long time, it has changed now after we've been humiliated by Mamelodi Sundowns to say, if I'm defending, let me play with 5 at the back and play with 3 center backs and plays, obviously your wing backs will cover into playing with 5 at the back. And you have to thank the gods of football for bracing us with Mbogazi, whom is like 2 men in one. And again, combining well with CBC at the back. If you don't understand, you might think, as I'm talking about this, coming from the roots, you might think I'm not talking about today's game if you are very slow. Hence, I told you I'm an icebreaker. So now today, when he attacks, remember, at the back now, when he attacks now, he plays with 4 at the back. When he defends, he plays with 5 at the back. So it's a formation that has changed from Mamelodi Sundowns after they humiliated us. But let me talk about today's game. The pitch is an element of concern. I think the government of this country somehow fails football into allowing events to take over. This is not an excuse, but how we play football, it also collaborates with the pitch. And when we always talk about the pitch, if you don't understand, Stibo, you will think that it doesn't make sense for the pitch to be that unique or that good. You understand? But I don't want to dwell much on that. But you talk about today when we're playing. I told you that football, when we play with Kabelo Dlamini, it has a different dimension. It means we'll be playing more of the game and stuff. But when we see a Kabelo Dlamini on the bench, you must know that the Orlando Pirates are taking. But yet, they are not attacking me or relying on playing the ball. Remember, that's why a lot of people, when they see Kabelo Dlamini warm-upping, they think they suggest somehow that the Tito Patrick Maswanganyi should be replaced. And that is not the sense of a UEFA A Pro license holder in Jose Rivero. Let me tell you, it is to complement Tito Patrick Maswanganyi going forward, because now he's not going to drop deep and be playing as a deep-lying midfielder. Meaning, when you think that Tito Patrick Maswanganyi is not playing well because you want him to do more, because now he does not do, he have to do what he have to be both. He has to play what Kabelo Dlamini plays in when we start play, and he also plays the Tito Patrick Maswanganyi way going forward. When a Kabelo Dlamini is introduced, you must know that it's complementary to Tito Patrick Maswanganyi, who will then move forth or go high. But anyway, they played very well when they started at the back. But an element of always slippery when you find Mbogazi, he wanted to play comfortably from the back, but unfortunately every time we wanted to start playing from the back, especially from the beginning of the match, we were failing in terms of that because the pitch was slippery. Lebuhile Mufukeng was not so sharp because of the slippery of the pitch. We know when the pitch is slippery, what can it give him? But you talk about that game or that goal or that ball that was received coming from the left when we received it. Oshapavala we sabat by 2. Unfortunately, when he wanted to hit it with his weaker foot, those guys deflected the ball. And there was a ball again that was passed diagonally to Dion Hoto. Dion Hoto thought, because he was supposed to do exactly the same thing, but it's got a typical left footer. Remember, he does not give you the best right on his foot. So he thought there's no need for me to Kishape Bala, because if Kishape Bala, I'm then taking the ball to my weaker foot, which is the right, which was he thought, let me rather shoot. But unfortunately, it was deflected. But again, you talk about how the system was started, because we were playing our typical 4-2-3-1, playing with Mabasa. But unfortunately, with Mabasa, this was not a game designed for him, because Mabasa, somehow, he wants to play at the back of his mind. He wants to play for fans and play for the coach. Mabasa is not a player that's supposed to be seen throughout the match. Mabasa is a player that's supposed to be seen when he scores. So he was somehow, tiring himself, trying to chase for goals, trying to impress us. Remember, I told you that football is watched in many eyes. Football sometimes is watched from a fan's perspective, is watched from a scout's perspective. I mean, from a managerial point, from football administrator's point of view. So he was dwelling more also on fans' perspective to say, let me rush, let me be a Mapopa kind of, forgetting that the coach has put him there before Mahopa to say, I know that you are very accurate when it comes to finishing. Hence, I want you there. Don't overrun for goals. Rather, not be seen throughout the match. But your presence will make defenders stress. Your presence alone will make defenders stress. If you don't understand this, let me say this. If Mudau is here and is not saying anything, his presence is so vocal than mine. But if you don't have a PhD, you want to understand it. You think he's not talking while he's talking. You understand? But this is exactly what Emabasa should do. Emabasa should position himself to be that player who becomes a finisher. I think that there was a ball that was delivered at the middle of the box, whereby he was supposed to just leap. I mean, we are sponsored by Adidas. He doesn't have to be scared to get dirty. We'll replace those throws. You are supposed to just slide and give us a goal. But anyway, it was not to be. I mean, the gods of football, especially from the center line, when they started singing Senzo Meiwa, because it was a set piece. Remember, this team is a spiritual. He has a spiritual home. Even the guys from the center line, when they start singing songs, they sing it according to what's happening in the middle of the park. When they started singing Wesenzo, it was these guys when they were attacking us. But these guys, again, we were saved by Senzo Meiwa when they couldn't find us on a break. They could have scored at least 3 goals. But you talk about that goal, that was a controversial moment. From where I was seated, it then reduced the speed. That alone can tell you that it was distracted somehow. So when they called for a VAR, because remember, sometimes you cannot see clearly as though that see it from the screens. I could see that it changed the trajectory of the goal into, changing the direction. That alone, maybe if it had hit him somewhere, but it has hit him the hand apparently. So yeah, big ups to VAR somehow, but it was fair in a way. So both goals, even the initial one, it was an offside, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Pirates fan, but that's how it was. But when the coach, remember, immediately, I think it was 13 minutes just before the coach introduced Kabelo Dlamini, I said the coach must introduce a Kabelo Dlamini, because why? Our players were rushing, especially when you find your likes of Mohaun Kota, who's young into the game. Sometimes, especially, I always say, you must not have everyone rushing into the game, because that's what killed us. Everyone was rushing to play, rushing to score. At the back of their mind, they're having goals. But remember, the fast way, or the fastest way to run is not to be fast, is to be composed. So you need a Kabelo Dlamini who will then compose yourself. You see how when he started, he combined with 3 touches, and it was enough to take us to the final third, because it's more composed. That's why a lot of people don't understand, and I have to make people understand this. You can never blame a fish for not being fast outside of the water. The things that they require from Kabelo Dlamini is just to show that they don't understand him. Kabelo Dlamini's greatest point is when he has the ball, or when we have the ball, and when he marks, he does not mark individual, he marks space. So if you don't understand that, the moment you say he's lazy, it then tells us that you don't understand his qualities. He's not meant for that. He's a Rolls Royce. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He's a special player and meant for such things, for the accuracy of the pass, to mark space, and to make the whole team tick, and also to encourage or to complement Tito Patrick Maswanganye. And remember, we are 2 here. If you think this interview is taking long, and I'm talking to you, it's not taking long because it's 2-time people here. I'm just saying, even for those. No, I'm telling you, we are not like other people. Other people, no, this people, tell them behind the mic or behind the camera next time. But anyway, I'll leave. No. What I'm trying to say is, they must never think that I'm making the interview alone. We are 2. Even Mudau has to cook. That's why we give him at least 30% of the time for him to cook. So don't think we are taking long because we are 2. Rema twins, chief. Yes, so you must know also when our twins or get double transport, double school fees, double clothes.
10 minutes.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. We are two. Man of the match. Man of the match, Waka, without any shade of a doubt. I'll give it to Mbogazi.
Sure.
Yes, but anyway, let Mudau cook. I'm not happy with the result.
Yeah.
I'm not happy both with that of Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. I'm not happy with the result. It's going to be a hard day in Egypt. But I do believe that we can definitely come. We will definitely come with a win. But I'm not happy with the result.
Okay.
Yes.
Brother Mdao, okay. Can I close it because of time?
Yeah, time.
Time, please.
It's double time here.
Before you close this, Tibone, let me first thank welcome back Mshishi.
Yeah.
Tembazwane, I saw him today coming back from the long injury. So welcome him back for it's good for South African football.
Yeah.
Also it's good for Fana.
Yeah.
So coming here to FNB Stadium, Stibo, we'll finish this game at Egypt. Yeah, we're going to finish it at Egypt. Remember, Paris is the only team on these 4 teams. Sundown, Ali, Pyramids.
Yeah.
Paris is the only team that start from the preliminary round, never lost any game.
Definitely, yeah.
So all these 3, they lost their games.
Yeah.
So remember, Ali came here with drawn 0-0 at Orlando, but we finished their match at their own backyard.
Yeah.
So even this one Pyramid, the boys today, they played very, very well.
Yeah.
So I hope on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, they are leaving.
Yeah.
So when Friday 25, they're going to finish it there.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the final. Any team between Ali and Sundown, we're waiting for the final.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and also I just want to thank the match officials.
Yeah.
For today here, spot on.
Being fair.
Yeah, fair all the way.
Yeah.
So I hope even when we go to Pyramid, the match officials can keep up the standard as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you, Brother Mutau.